Hey everybody, this is Teresa with the Intentional Classroom. So if you've been watching my cosmetology videos, kind of getting students ready for that state board, I appreciate it. Don't forget to share and subscribe and do all those things that you're supposed to do with YouTube, mostly because I want to make sure that students that need this kind of stuff really have this as a resource and know that there's someone out there kind of in their corner trying to explain things a little bit differently so they make a little more sense to them. So on to the content. This is going to be a quick video. It's something that I know my own students always struggled with, but also I see now that I work with students all around the country and I'm tutoring students all over the place, I'm seeing that this is a concept that everybody seems to miss. So I really wanted to take just a couple minutes and talk about base placement. So base placement is basically where we hold a rod or like a curling rod or a curling iron. It can be a roller, whatever it might be, but it's where we actually hold the hair before we roll it down. It determines how much volume we have, how little volume we have, how much tension is there. It determines all sorts of things. And there's three main types of base placement. You have on base placement, half off base placement, and off base placement. So forever. I mean, I've been teaching for what, like 20 years, it's like my whole life. This has been a concept that students really struggle with. So I wanted to take a minute and illustrate it with my white screen here so that you guys can maybe see how this really works. Okay, so I am not, disclaimer, I am not an artist when it comes to drawing. I am a hair artist, but I am not an illustrator. So please bear with me and my terrible, terrible images. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna use my finger too, even worse, right? This is as ratchet as can be, but we're gonna do it this way anyways, okay? So we're going to start here, and this is a little head. Hopefully you guys can see this, right? And we're going to say, here's my eyes. Really good, I know. And there's a mouth right there, okay? So we're going to do on base placement. So the base is the section of hair, right? That we actually are sectioning out. It's usually a rectangle. They can be triangles. They can be all different shapes, but for today's sake, we're just going to use a rectangle base, okay? Now, where we hold the hair determines how much volume we actually have in that curl, okay? So we're going to do an on base. I guess I should label this on base, which means I am actually going to hold it 45 degrees in front of my section. So remember, here's my eyes, right? So I'm going to take my section and I'm going to hold it 45 degrees in front of the section, okay? So an on base curl is 45 degrees in front of the section. Now watch what happens when I roll the hair, okay? So pretend I'm on a roller. I told you, this is like art at its finest, all right? So pretend I'm on a roller, I'm rolling, here I go, I'm rolling, and it lands directly on the base, hence the name on base placement, okay? Because when you hold it 45 degrees, I guess I should write that, in front of the base, it gives this push, this volume. If you ever used bump its in like the 90s, it's exactly what it was doing. It's creating this push, okay? So that's an on base placement. It's 45 degrees in front of the section. It's going to give you maximum volume. It could give you too much tension if you were doing a perm. So be careful with that, okay? Let's talk about half off. I don't know why it's half off and not half on, but it is the world. Cosmetology has decided that, okay? So we're going to do a half off base. Again, I'm stellar at this whole writing on a whiteboard thing. Okay, here's my eyes, here's my nose, here's my base. Okay, same thing. Except for this time, I'm going to hold it 90 degrees, straight out from wherever you've got that base, right? That's on 90 degrees. Let's watch what happens when I roll it this time, right? I'm rolling with the homies. Here we go, half on, half off. So you can see where the actual rod lands, half of it is on, half of it is off, okay? This is going to give you minimal volume. It's not going to flatten the hair out by any means. This is typically what we use for a perm. When I'm walking around helping students on a clinic floor with the perm, it's constantly elbows up, because you should be holding that 90 degrees from the head most often, okay? So it's 90 degrees straight out. This is a half off base placement, okay? So the only one left is off base, okay? So we're going to go ahead and do an off base placement. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make my little face here. Here's my eyes, here's my nose, okay? Here is my base, all right? Now this time, instead of holding it 45 degrees in front of the base, I'm going to hold it 45 degrees behind the base. So here's what happens, right? Here's 45 degrees behind. When I wrap it, I get this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing, and it literally lands behind the base, just behind the base. Now this is the least this is the least amount of volume that you can get. We don't use this very often because most people want big hair, like we want volume, right? So we don't use this too often, but it's all over every state board I've ever seen asks these questions. So again, this is 45 degrees, just like on base, except for that this is 45 degrees behind the base. So we're actually dropping our elbows when we do this, okay? So these are your 3 base placements: on base, half off, and off base. Again, it's on every state board I've ever seen asks this question. And we use base placement, these 3 base placements when we're doing a perm, when we're doing a roller set, when we're doing curling irons. I mean, we use it all the time. So it's important that you know it, okay? So hopefully this helped kind of clear up one of these hard concepts that a lot of people don't understand. If you guys have any questions, of course, reach out, comment, share, like, do all those things. I really am hoping this can reach more and more cosmetology students, and that these videos are going to help students pass that state board. Keep studying. If you need anything, let me know. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Thanks for watching.